2010, back May 2010, Rise of the Eldrazi era, the one that Brad Nelson won, right?
Yep. Now, the craziest part about that was everybody else in that tournament was playing Jund or Naya
or tap out blue,
you know,
blue
tap
white,
out
tap
blue
out.
white. That was the deck that ended up winning. Tim at that tournament was playing a polymorph deck with Spawning Breath.
Nice.
He was playing a Spawning Breath polymorph deck and came in 9th.
Wow. Yeah.
And got a game loss from Mark Sleeves, which was kind of annoying because he had bought new sleeves at the beginning of the event.
Right.
I was with him when he sleeved.
I played in that. I remember playing at that event, and I played Naya Vengevine.
So did I. I got crushed.
I actually did well. I almost day
nice.
2'd with it. I mean, I did fairly well. It was my first Grand Prix I ever entered, and you know, almost day 2'd. But anyway, there's a step links from David. My first round opponent just crushed my sleeves. Like they were brand new sleeves, and he's just like, shuffle your deck, just smash them together. I was just like, I need to change my sleeves after round 1. That was ridiculous. So anyway, so Ancient Tomb from Tim, and Wasteland from David. Wasteland, your Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb doing a little bit of work for David, adding 2 mana to Tim's pool here. And a blue to cast an Intuition. We have a Daze from David Gearheart. And both players back to square one here. Step Link's, you know, doing some damage, but David has no lands in play. Tim just won.
Now, Tim just plays another island and passes the turn back. Tim has a sneak attack and a show and tell, but does not yet have an Emrakul or Progenitus. Now, if you're Tim here, I think a play you definitely have to think about is show and tell with no piece. This is a weird play because... Oh, never mind.
Goes with Intuition, or did you think that was show and tell?
No, I saw the show and tell in his hand, yeah, but...
They look kind of similar.
Yeah, if he has Intuition, you're definitely Intuition. It's like upkeep Intuition.
Force of Will from Gearheart, removing Geist of St. Traft. And Tim forces back.
Removing a show and tell.
Brainstorm from David. This is the weirdest. It looks like they just the weirdest deck over here on the left. It's like I have a Step Links, Force of Will, Brainstorm,
Force
Daze.
of Will, Brainstorm, Daze.
Like, are you sure this is a zoo deck? Because all it's done is counter spells, pretty much. Draw cards and counter spells.
Did David draw a Spell Pierce off of that?
I didn't see it.
Because that's probably the most important thing here is if
all right, so Intuition
if he did not
resolved.
draw a Spell Pierce, then he's dead. He will have no permanence in play and be facing down on Emrakul next turn.
Emrakul. 2 in the graveyard, shuffle them back. And 1 in his hand. Alright, Step Link's getting some landfall triggers.
David draw Ponder here or Spell Pierce? Because I'm pretty sure I saw a blue card when he drew.
Yeah, it's tough. It was tough to tell, so. What does that say? Chris Barrett? And then something underneath it?
So Chris Barrett just received a shout out here.
Oh, well. You got that
didn't
part.
do it very fast. What did it say at the bottom?
I don't know. I just got the Chris Barrett part.
Yeah, me too. Every time I start reading it, I just get done with Chris Barrett, and then he pulls it away. David Gearheart brought 2 bags today. Double wristband. And David Gearhart's dead.
I'll play Delver. Beat my Delver. What can you do? Got a 1/1. Turns into a 3/2 flyer. Do you have an answer? I love those foil snow-covered lands Tim is using.
Yeah, foil snow-covered lands are kind of sweet.
Yeah. I really love the snow-covered lands in general, especially the snow-covered islands, the ones from Cold Snap. All right. We have a volcanic island from Tim. He's slow rolling us. I mean, I guess he's got to sufficiently randomize his deck.
Yeah, the other thing is that David can still have things, you know.
Oh, well.
Days can't work anymore.
Sneak attack. Resolves. Lotus Petal. I'm going to put an Emrakul into play and attack. Sacrifice all your permanents, and Emrakul shuffles away again. It's funny when people do that, like Annihilator triggers, it looks like they're scooping. It's like, oh, so, you know, because you assume, like, I had just attacked you with Emrakul, do you scoop? And they scoop them up, and you're like, good, oh, wait, you weren't conceding? Like, I had something like that happen in a casual match, but it was actually a Johnny Vengeance Ultimate, where I Armageddon them, and he scoops up his lands, I'm like, yeah, oh, there's a high five again.
There's so many high fives. This is awesome. I like how Tim writes F6 us. Very nice. I appreciate that.
For anybody who's ever on a match, like, that's all cool and everything, but bring a marker, like a Sharpie with you, so you can do that, so it can be very clear. Now, we can see it's F6, but it's a little tough. All right, Ponder from David.
Somebody has to go and ruin all their fun.
It's just the disembodied arm kind of thing. Just floated in, took the F6 away. So did Tim just not have the show and tell, or did he just think that?
No, he had to pitch the show and tell of the force.
Oh, that's right.
He would have gotten,
That's right. Yeah. All right, so David Gearheart at 3 life and still in the game. Brainstorm from Tim.
Gets put back 2 lands and then shuffle his deck.
I mean, if David wins, does he get the shirt that says, I survived an attack from Emrakul and won the game?
Tim falls to 5 here. Tim goes to 4. I think David has another bolt, so Tim actually sacrifices another fetch land. He's just dead.
See Lavamancer in his hand. Couldn't quite see what else. There may be a Geist of St. Treff, but I may just be imagining that because it's so tough to tell, especially when the cards are face down. All right, so Days, I think, off the top for Tim.
Tim goes to 1.
Not even letting him have the Oh, 3 bolts. Wow. There was who's got the shirt? Where's the shirt? Give it to David. It's like one of those amusement park shirts, like, I survived riding this roller coaster. I think this is much more impressive. I was attacked by Emrakul and survived.
It's pretty unreal.
Yeah. Wow. I don't even know. I mean, what else can I do? Like, Tim's like, I attacked him with Emrakul. He had no permanents in play. I guess Lightning Bolt doesn't require too many permanents, just a red source. I mean, that was almost like a triple Galvanic Blast at the Pro Tour. Right? Double Whip Flare.
That was insane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't get to see that live. We were robbed of that experience.
We were doing coverage
Yeah,
of
we were doing coverage.
Cincinnati, and I, had a blast and got to go back and watch the stuff later. But pretty crazy events.
And trying to watch it live in the hotel room at night wasn't working out very well. You'd get like screenshots of every 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I think he's winning now.
Okay, now what's on the board? Okay. Oh, are we in another batch? All right, so looking at sideboards here.
You're starting your training a little bit early, don't you think?
Looking at Tim's list here.
What is Mog Salvage?
I have no idea.
I'm going to look this up.
So both players have access to 2 Pyroblast, but Tim's got access to 2 Red Elemental Blasts as well. Nice 1-mana counter spells. That, as we were saying, like David has a lot of blue spells in his deck, so Tim could potentially just bring in 4 blasts. Be fairly good, I think, against what Dave's got. Counters the Delver itself. David obviously on the play. I mean, I'm sorry, Tim is on the play, so he can counter a turn 1 Delver if he wants with a red blast.
So I have the text for Mog Salvage.
Okay.
It's one of the free spells from Nemesis.
Okay.
If your opponent controls an island and you control a mountain, destroy target artifact. Normally it costs 3, costs nothing.
Nice.
So it's just a free shatter.
Right.
If they're playing blue.
That's pretty cool.
Which is kind of insane.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen that more.
How is this only worth 25 cents?
It's not an ancient grudge.
People don't... Do people know this card exists?
I don't know. Apparently,
I mean, like, I didn't. And I've been playing Magic forever.
David Gearheart knows. So Tim's on the play. Can bring in those blasts, which will counter a good portion of David's deck. I like those. Blood Moon's an interesting proposition, I think, because
yeah, I think Blood Moon's pretty good here.
a lot of those, I mean, a lot of David's deck is just non-basics. A lot of fetch lands. I mean, I think that's really all he really needs. Maybe Vendilion Click, I feel like, is something you can just bring in board. It's just
You just always
never
bring it in.
bad, right?
Yeah.
It's good. On David's side of things, I mean, obviously just bring in more lightning bolts. So he doesn't need the Mog Salvage in this matchup. I think he just wants Pyroblast and Spell Pierce. What do you think? What's Ensnare again? I forgot.
Oh my gosh, I know Ensnare. And
I feel like I do too. It's like I know what that does, but I can't remember. Mog Salvage on the other hand.
Yeah, you like return 2 islands to your hand to do something. I think it's what do you do again? Yes. You can return 2 islands to your hand instead of paying its square to casting costs, and it just taps all somebody's creatures.
So it's a nice little fog. Actually, that might be something he wants to bring in, considering it's considering the creatures that he's going to be tapping.
Yeah.
Is it tap all opponents' creatures, or just it's tap all creatures?
All creatures.
Okay.
You can't like main phase it and then attack. You can end step it and then attack. So you can use it as a falter if you want to.
You can do it. You can attack and then you can declare attacks, right?
Yeah, and then
do
you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an
Nice
instant.
little-
I thought
yeah.
it was. Yeah, I guess it has to be an instant.
Yeah, so that would so it's not like a fog. It's more, well, it can be like a fog, but it can also be a
Yeah, it can be a fog or a falter.
Yeah.
Fog or falter.
So yeah, I can see him bringing in Ensnare. So he's got Ensnare, Pyroblast, and Spell Pierce. I think that's all that that I want here. We mulliganing. Yeah, David is mulliganing to 6. These guys are having a blast. We've seen 2 high fives and only 1 game has happened so far.
It's a high five fest over here. David almost got ready for another one there.
Yeah, he's like, high five time? No, not yet? Okay.
Tim's like, I was shuffling your deck. Well, high five before the game.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You know, it is fun to try to figure out what they're saying. Or to just put words into their mouth. Why don't we have like a little shuffler on the side of that? So that way it's just automatically shuffles, and then it speeds these games up. It speeds these kind of situations up.
So, okay, he's keeping. I have a good story for once we're done with this match.
Ooh, I like stories. All right, there is a fetch land from Tim, and a Tundra from David. Turn 1 Delver. Does Tim have the blast? Does he want to blast it? No. Draws. You see a Force of Will and several lands in Tim's hand. And other than that, couldn't quite see. Volcanic Island. Oh, there's a blast. Okay, yeah, that's right. You can blast it while it's still there. I forgot.
And you can play around days with
about
it.
that. Yeah. Ponder from David.
All right.
Let's see. I think I saw Brainstorm, and I think it may have been the top card, but didn't see the other 2.
All right.
I love the angle of that shot. It's unfortunate that it's so pixelated.
Yeah, it's a nice angle.
All right.
So,
Ponder shuffle.
shuffles up his deck with a ponder. Looking for a threat. Doesn't have one yet. That's a pretty rough thing when you're the Step Links deck, and your only threat, the Delver, was Pyroblasted.
The good news is he's the Step Links deck, and he just pondered. And he
Ponder's
has
just a powerful spell.
He has access to Brainstorm. He has it's not as bad as it would be for a traditional, I think, Step Links deck.
And now Tim has beautiful beta Rebs. I just saw one in his hand.
Grim
Oh man.
Lavamancer.
David's like, you want to see beautiful? I'll show you my foil torment.
Yeah. Brainstorm from Tim.
All right, he finds sneak attack. Does he have something to go with it? All right, he's thinking about putting back a land and a red elemental blast. It's pretty surprising to me. I'm also very surprised the Secret Lavamancer.
Thought he would have boarded those out.
Yeah, maybe he knows or thinks that Tim's going to bring in V-Clicks and just kill him with those.
Yeah, it seems like the kind of creature that you just might not. I mean, I don't know. I think I would have boarded them out, but I think David probably knows what he's doing.
Oh, he definitely knows what he's doing. He's
Yeah.
somebody who
That's what I'm
is
saying.
very active
It's
in the
very-
Legacy community.
I think
He probably, I mean, online, like when I've seen sneak attack lists posted recently, all of them have like V-Clicks post board. So.
right, including Tim's list. So
Yeah, Tim's list also has a V-Clicks post board. Not as many, but still has them.
seems like solid logic. Step Links added a David side of the board, and Both players at a fairly healthy life total at this point. Seems a little slow going for both of them. Although the Lavamancer is now online, and the Step Links could certainly get pretty big pretty fast.
That thing has a really high damage output if you let it.
Misty Rainforest. Alright, fetching Snow-Covered Island. Wonder if he's going for Blood Moon.
That would be really good.
Like, you know, the fact that he fetched the basic island is what made me think about that. Setting up for a Blood Moon. He's got access to 5 here.
Pays 4 and 2 life.
And
See what he puts out.
Sneak Attack. So Sneak Attack appears to have resolved. Grim Lavamancer activated, hitting Tim for 2. Looks like David just played and cracked a fetch land, so that Step Links is a 4/5.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, it is for a 1-drop.
The thing about Step Links is it can be
It
such a
gets
threat
real
so
big,
early.
yeah.
If you get the right draw for him, he's one of the best 1-drops ever printed.
Especially in Legacy, where there's just so many fetch lands that you could be playing. So yeah, there's the 4/5 Step Links.
Yeah, and you can brainstorm into the right ratios and everything, and ponder into the right ratios in his deck. So normally, like, Step Linksing is kind of gambling, but in his deck, it's not really.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty reliable 4/5.
Yeah, I mean, and having Brainstorm fetch land is already, you know, a very powerful interaction. Having the Step Links is to also capitalize on the fetch lands is pretty sweet. So Tim down to 10 life. Can no longer reanimate Jin-Gitaxias. Oh wait, what deck is this? Just kidding.
Alright, Tim has a couple options this turn. I think he's just going to search his library for the Emrakul. Puts himself down to 8.
Intuition. And yeah, Emrakul. Shuffle it all away.
And once again, David is left with no board. Tim is at a pretty low life total.
Tim's Ancient Tomb does a really good job of, in that case, of protecting him from Hidetsugu's second right.
So we always need to think about the angles.
Yeah. All right, Sneak Attack. Emrakul. Are we going to see David go to 3 and then win again? He activates Grim Lavamancer. Plays a, that's the tap all creatures. Yeah, ensnare. And we have a red blast for that. And all right, David Gearheart, 3 life again. uses, I guess, a floating red to bolt Tim to 3. So both players at 3 life.
And now a bolt or chain lightning is good enough for David at this point.
Yeah.
Tim, I think, does have force of will.
There it is. Chain lightning.
I think Tim has force.
He better have a force. All right, he does. But still. I mean, can he do it twice? Can he win a match in which both games he's been attacked
for all of his permanents?
For all of his permanents, yeah. He did manage to recover some of the permanents with the ensnare, which was pretty cool. Blood Moon. Blood Moon from Tim. And David wants to immediately crack a fetch land. Get a basic island.
So David at 3, Tim at 3.
Yeah, David at 2
David
after
at
cracking
2,
the fetch land, yeah.
Tim at 3.
Do we have...
Everybody's dead, basically.
What's that?
Everybody's dead, basically.
Yeah. I mean... Alright, mountain go.
It's also a nice play from Tim. Notice, like, he didn't have the Ancient Tomb to take damage when he cast the Blood Moon, but now his Ancient Tomb doesn't deal damage anymore.
Yeah, he's just made it a mountain. Brainstorm meets Red Blast from Tim.
And again, very pretty Red Blast.
Ooh, Force of Will. David going to 1. And that is a resolved Brainstorm. We see Daze, we see Force of Will, and something I didn't quite see. Those forces are dead. I think he's got 2 in his hand. He's at least got 1. Maybe just 1. Wow.
All right.
Second Blood Moon. And for those of you just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco here with Jacob Van Lunen, and we're coming to you live from Baltimore, this StarCityGames.com Invitational. David Gearheart has been attacked by Emrakul, and has still... He won Game 1 after being attacked
by
Emrakul. Game 2, same thing. Emrakul attacks. David at 1 life, but still in this, and plays a Grim Lavamancer, which will kill Tim Sussino if he has no answer. He has to Force of Will it. Both players Force of Willing themselves down to 1 life.
Yeah.
Both players at 1. Now David's got the easy burn spells, but any creature for Tim is a burn spell. Because he just pays a red and it gets to attack. If it's, you know, it's an uncounterable burn spell. And there's Grim Lavamancer. Tim can't find an answer for Grim Lavamancer. And I think that's David Gearheart wins 2-0 versus Tim Sussino and Emrakul twice. Wow, yeah, they
well-deserved high five.
Punctuated high five. Yeah, punctuated statement with a high five.
That's something really awesome.